Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 899 of FloWrestling Radio Live. Oh my goodness, indeed. I'm your host, Christian Pyles, coming at you on a Wednesday. My buddy, James Dean Rader, Ben Funky Askren is here, and you're here, thankfully. Otherwise, we'd just be talking, which wouldn't be the worst thing, but we wouldn't have to get up so early either. Ben,
true.
You got twins headed to Happy Valley. The Mirasolas.
Yeah, they're excited.
They're excited. But talk
they
about
dumped
this.
me on Monday because they didn't tell me till like 3:00 or something, and the show was well done by then. Yeah, that's it. They went between Illinois, Northern Iowa, and Penn State. Kale was recruiting them hard for a while, and then kind of backed off, and then kind of went back on. They're excited. They love it, and I don't know. That's it.
That's it. What do they have? They just have the state tournament coming up. What are their
Yeah, we actually have
competition plans?
We have a snow day today for everybody, and there's no snow. It's really weird. I'm telling you. Apparently, it's going to get bad, but it's not bad. It's not
Wisconsin
bad,
getting soft? People are saying it, not me.
I actually grilled one of this. There's a school admin that helps with our little kids thing because his kids are younger. And he said that they now build them into the school calendar, so they use them very liberally because they would just have to take them off at the end anyways.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, they should have a snow day. What's the worst?
Yeah. Not much better than a snow day.
But state tournament tomorrow. You heard me and Shane. Best state tournament around. It's gonna be sold out. It's gonna be packed. It's gonna be awesome.
Man, that sounds fun. Are we not up on the book face?
Yes.
I don't see it. Dang it! I want to interact.
Oh my!
I want to be one with the people.
Gracious.
Okay, well, congrats to them. Are they going to be trying to make any world teams or anything like that?
Yeah, I got to assume. So they are just. Everyone actually thinks they're old, but they actually got screwed. I don't know if you know. They are December 30th birthdays, right? So they're 2 days away from being cadet eligible, 17U eligible again. So they're not. So they're gonna go. I think they're gonna wrestle for the UWW juniors, but they are like very literally the youngest possible. They're
very selfish of their parents to do that.
Should have waited.
They weren't thinking about Mom. They weren't thinking about cadet eligibility.
Hold it in until January 1st. Then your kid's the oldest. It's great.
Yep. Well, cool. Happy, excited for them. Look forward to watching their careers unfold. First AWA guys to go to Penn State.
First ones, and Penn State has they got a good group because they have Mason Gibson's in that class, and Zach Ryder, and I'm missing one more.
Mason Ryder, the twins.
Joe Seeley.
Oh,
that's a good class right there.
That's a pretty good class. How do you think they fit into the lineup for Penn State?
I mean, they're both getting big, so they're 97 heavyweight. I don't know where everyone else is going to end up landing, but by the time they would get there, anyone who's currently on the team at those weight classes is done. And I guess then it would just be is Josh Barr or Zach Ryder going to grow that much? That would be a conflict, and I don't know the answer to that one. Just
looking at those two, I feel like Barr is the one with actually the frame to get a little bigger. I feel like Ryder looks like an 84-pounder for me, but
it's definitely stockier.
You never know with these kids.
Yeah, but Barr has been smaller to this point.
Yes, he is smaller. Okay, can someone tell me what is happening in Illinois? Ben,
well, I got Ben,
the
best recap that I can get. Okay, so there's some.
Give the high level what's happening.
I will. Okay, so everyone, I was seeing this post yesterday. People freaking out about anyone who competes against a college person, practices with a college person, pretty much any type of interaction. If you social media DM them, then you're ineligible for 365 days per the IHSA. And I even sent to you and said, like, this is so bad, I don't really believe it's true. There's no way this is true. And then so I did my research. It does seem to be true. So what happened was this girl, Valerie Hamilton, had decided that she would rather pursue open tournaments and stuff as opposed to participating on her high school wrestling team. Well, so then she decides, I guess there's other really good girls she wants to wrestle. So she decides to do a state series, and she does a couple. And I guess they had gotten permission initially and maybe the executive director was confused or something, but then someone called and did a little tattletale, and they said, "Ooh, this girl's been wrestling in college opens," and they suspend her and deem her ineligible for the state tournament, which is this coming weekend.
Snitches.
Yes.
Well,
I know.
that's pretty unfortunate. What?
But so as the rule reads, Christian, if they choose to enforce the rule that he cited, the rule that I can't remember the guy's name right now, the executive
Who's Ken
director.
Davis? I mean, I did. Part of this is like, is this even real?
That's what I said.
That was honestly
it is,
my
though.
gut reaction. Like, is this even a thing? I mean, it's a screenshot of a Facebook post from someone named Ken Davis, who Ken Davis could be the man in the know for all we know. But I don't know Ken Davis.
No, but everyone's talking about it as if it's real, and this girl is in fact suspended. The one that I sent you, I think it was Valerie Hamilton.
Yeah, I do know that.
So, no, I think if you cite if what the executive director said is true, then there can be no participation in practices, in clubs, in nothing with college guys, which would be like, it doesn't even make sense because that means like your a high school teammate who graduates can't come back for a Christmas practice. That would make you ineligible.
So,
That obviously feels ridiculous.
what about like camps? Can you do camps?
No camps. It says I'll read you the exact.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
All right, here you go. Here, I got it. All right, IHSA Director Craig Anderson cited bylaw 3.105 and stated to Michael Hamilton in a one-on-one meeting that Val is ineligible because she competed against collegiate athletes. Furthermore, he stated that this bylaw pertains to all 365 calendar days for all disciplines of athletics with college athletes. Using this logic, any Illinois high school athlete would be barred if they practice with, go to a camp or clinic with, compete on a local, national, international level against collegiate athletes. This means world team trials, world teams, college visits, etc. So that's where it's like, I know, because look, you could go make a list of all the people who competed at junior trials last year from Illinois. None of them are ineligible.
What I was told, I don't know if this is correct, but it just pertains to during the Illinois regular season. She went competed at an open, and that's why she's ineligible. But if you want to compete at your RTC practice outside of the season, go to junior world team trials, compete against, the college freshmen, go to camps, that's all fair game. It's just during the your Illinois regular season career where you cannot compete or practice with college athletes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There's
So Keith is saying we're wrong already.
Yeah.
Keith, I'm just repeating here. I'm just reading stuff.
Exactly. I think we're just
That's all I'm
repeating like worse. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing sounds a little too squishy, not concrete enough.
So he says you can wrestle in USA wrestling events, but no college opens.
Which I actually think is okay. I can see a governing body being like, no, you can do college or you can do high school, but not both.
I don't really hate that. That's not terrible.
I don't know.
But the practices thing is preposterous because it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of high school practices that I have where someone's home from college and they stop in and they work out,
Yeah.
I don't live in Illinois. Those people are crazy. They should all move north. I don't know what they're doing down there. Taxes are preposterous. Too many rules.
No snow days.
Too many snitches. Probably no snow days.
Oh, there's snitches in Wisconsin. Come on, bro.
No, not like I won't tell the story because I don't want to. But there was another case this year of a kid who got snitched on and was not able to compete in the state tournament. It was very obviously by someone who had beat him, and it was over some stupid rule.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's corny.
Yes. Yeah, Illinois. Way too many snitches down there, Keith. I mean, Keith needs to get to work.
Yeah. And the last thing Keith needs is a snitch out for him. I think he's compromised.
Maybe Keith is the snitch and we just didn't know.
Shoot, dang it, Keith. There's a code. Okay, so we'll try to get a little more information around this. Ben, you were hitting me up about this last night, and I saw it circulating around. Hector Gomez had reached out to me, and so I about
what does he think is true or no?
Yeah, he sent me some bylaws, but There's a lot of them, and I'm not going to read to people because
read us all the bylaws, please. Can you cite us
I'm going to read
bylaw
the rule
statute
book.
3.109?
I have 3.109.
Nice.
Wait, is that the one you see?
No,
This
I
says
just made up a
something about
number.
diving
I
facilities.
knew the one that we were doing was 3.105, so I just made up a number, Christian.
Yeah. 3.105. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll try to get a little more information. I don't think it's cool to hold kids out of the state tournament. I think these governing bodies are overly punitive and look for a reason to flex on some kids,
justify their own existence.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sometimes
they act like it's that's my thing with like, I don't know, the different governing bodies that like suspend kids. It's like, man, it's not that serious, guys. It's definitely high school sports. Like, why? It's not a federal case. Why are you taking a kid out of that, out of competing? Not good.
Agree.
Okay, so no Shane Sparks today. He will be back next week, he says, which is Big Ten.
What's he doing? Is he faking a snow day again? Because he lives in Wisconsin.
Shane's having
It's snowing. I'm telling on him. I'm snitching on Shane Sparks.
Okay, snitch and Ben. See, Shane's going to have to move to Illinois. Okay, so we'll try to get a little more info there. But for this show, we're going to kind of do more of like not a year in review, because that sounds really boring, but just like we're giving away some awards, some accolades.
I'm waiting for my award for the best picker to come still.
Best picker. Okay, yeah, it's in the mail actually. It has been. So JD, do you want to kind of take it from here and
better be
lead us?
Yeah, just kind of wanted to look at maybe give some awards for some of the best performances and kind of just regular season as a whole. There's a bunch of categories. Should we start with duel? Our favorite duels?
Yeah. Heck yeah. Favorite duels.
So I listed a bunch here. It was a great year for duels. Iowa Penn State, obviously, whenever they wrestle, is always going to make it on this list. Iowa State UNI, Iowa State Pitt, Oklahoma State Missouri, the Iowa State bump to beat Cornell, Virginia Tech, NC State, and then Maryland Purdue.
That was a crazy one.
Were some of my favorites that I thought of kind of off the top of my head.
These are definitely good ones. Did Iowa State Missouri didn't make it? I thought that was a pretty lit duel.
That was
no, it didn't. I thought you did. Actually, I thought you said that. I wasn't looking at the list.
He has a lot of Iowa State.
I did do a lot of Iowa State. That was a great duel.
Yeah,
Missouri kind of locked it up.
4 Iowa States.
Iowa State had a great duel schedule.
Bro,
they honestly
4
did.
Iowa States and 8 picks.
And you're making fun of me for not including one of them.
The trip, I'm not. I think they should be in there 100%. I think the triple bump was so cool.
Well, I included that on another category, just biggest surprise of the year.
The big balls move of the week.
No, you have this. You have this right here.
I know. I'm saying it also got included in another category.
Double
that
inclusion.
one would have been more fun if it was like, I don't know, it felt a little bit smaller because it was in that earlier duel and probably a lot of people weren't watching it and the crowd wasn't big or anything.
Well, don't forget, that was also in the semis of the collegiate duels, so they win and they got the chance to take on Penn State in the finals. So because it was like it wasn't, I don't think it was a semi because it was pool play, but that was to win the pool or whatever.
To win the pool.
So there was some stakes behind it besides just being a random early non-conference duel.
I'm obviously partial to VT NC State, but Oklahoma State Missouri I think was probably my favorite duel of the year.
No, that one sucked.
It was incredible. That was the one, and that was the one where Dayton had to win by
11,
like
he had to win by 11
points, and he did.
That just the crowd drama. They were underdogs, the big upset, a lot of really exciting matches, and then you got your cleanup hitter. Yeah, I know it stings a little bit.
I knew you were a Missouri hater.
It was a pretty crazy duel. Pitt was weirdly in a lot of like crazy ones too this year.
Yeah. I think it's makes a lot to do with lineup composition, right? I mean, if you have a certain type of lineup you're gonna really kind of kill everyone. But like we were talking about the Iowa State Missouri duel, they had a whole bunch of guys, and Missouri kind of does too, where it's like, well, either person could win this match. And I feel like that with a lot of Iowa State duels. They have a lot of guys who are maybe, we'll say 7 to 15 ranked,
Right.
somewhere in there. And that makes a thing where they could go either way a lot of times.
Yes. So that's my pick for favorite duel.
I'm
I refuse
going.
to pick that one.
I'm going Iowa State, Iowa, with complete bias. Just because there was so much hype around it
So much hype.
this year, and
Atmosphere matters.
the atmosphere was great, and it was close enough to where it was entertaining throughout.
Yeah, 18-15.
Came down. It was tied going into heavyweight.
Iowa killed a lot of teams this year, so it's a credit to Iowa State for making it competitive. Because they destroyed both Oklahoma State and Missouri. Or not Missouri.
Also, don't forget
Nebraska.
that was the return of Spencer
Nebraska.
Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That was high drama.
And they don't win without him.
They don't win without him.
Right.
So, yeah, you have that heroic kind of dynamic there. So, yeah, good option. Are you going to pick one, Ben?
I'll go Iowa State, just because that was a good duel, and I can't pick Oklahoma State, Missouri.
No.
You can't do it.
I don't blame
I'm not
you.
gonna do it.
Okay.
All these were fun though. What it is more? I was thinking what is more fun. I wasn't able to watch all of them live, but it is more fun when you get to watch them live because you play along with the drama as it's building up,
Oh yeah.
as opposed to knowing who's gonna win first. And like I said, I did that with Iowa State Pitt. Like I knew what happened and went back and watched the good matches, and they were really exciting. But probably would have been even better had I not known who was going to win.
Yeah. You want to lean in a little closer? You're like,
Oh, my bad.
you're like
I
in the
said that.
recliner.
Sorry,
I knew
about
we
that.
shouldn't have let you expense a recliner down there.
This chair is
Some
actually so
Casual
old
Ben
and ratty.
Askren.
At some point, I should really get a new chair.
You got a bad one? Are you sitting on a wooden chair?
No, it's a nice soft one, but it's just super old, so it's all raggedy looking.
No. Well, we can't see it. It's fine.
All
Okay.
good.
Sometimes I try and do the bit. I'm like, all right, no social media for the next 12 hours or whatever. Because if I miss a duel for some reason, it's like, well, I really want to know. I want to watch this, not knowing what happens. It's getting tougher and tougher, but
Yeah.
It is getting tougher and tougher.
or just because I'll get texts or whatever, like, that was crazy. Did you see this? Whatever. But sometimes I go dark, 0 dark 30.
There you go.
So I get that thrill for 2 hours.
I'm getting weird texts about this thing from people.
About the Illinois thing?
thing. Yeah.
I told you, the Illinois people, they're weird. A lot of snitches down there.
This is a weird exchange here. It's like, if you don't talk about this, someone else is going to, like a threat. Like, okay, well, everyone should talk about it. I don't care. Like,
You're being threatened? Who's threatening you?
not threatened. It's like, hey, if you...
Keith
you
Gothard,
guys-
take care of him.
Yeah. I like this guy, but I don't know why he's like coming at me like, hey, man, if you don't, I'm going to give this scoop to... All right, go ahead. I don't care.
So there's no
Scoop
scoop.
'em.
Valorie's suspended.
Everyone should
we don't
talk
have
about it.
control over the Illinois.
Yeah. So
I-
Illinois is doing their
IHSA,
girls' state a
whatever.
week later. Wisconsin's doing theirs we're doing it at the same time. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Excited for it.
All right. Weird. Okay, moving on. Best match of the year. This is a tough one. All right, he came up with quite a few. Nino over Bastida, 6-4. That was a really good match. Spencer pinning Matt Ramos. That was crazy. Craziest period for sure. Labriola beating Mackay. Fun one. Andonian just destroying Ed Scott. Made your list. All right.
Well,
It was a crazy match.
It was a crazy match
Because-
like, Bryson Donian got thrown to his back too.
He was almost pinned.
Yes.
For sure. Gomez comeback over Sasso at the All-Star.
I'm sure there's more.
And Gomez,
Some I'm missing.
Yanni was it just because it happened.
Well, that made upset.
yeah, true.
So
Yeah.
that's another category. So I try not to include too many
Yeah.
crazy big upsets.
Unless it's Cyclones, in which they can be included in all.
I'm going Spencer Lee, Matt Ramos for sure. We got a lot of action packed into a very short period of time. There was drama. Spencer was on his back. That's what I'm going for sure.
I think it is that one.
I think it is.
It was
too.
like
It was electric.
it was kind of like the Cade Brock Cody Brewer match, but totally different because there wasn't a massive upset. But like
Because he got off his back and pinned him.
well, because he got the takedown, and then he gets away,
Yeah.
and then he throws him to his back. Like we don't talk about the first takedown. There's 2 takedowns, throws him, and then Spencer fights off and like immediately
Yeah.
just like
And then went nuts
he
afterwards.
just went nuts. Just pins him and then just like so fired up afterwards. That was crazy. I think it's got to be that one. We may not have got the full match, but what we got was
Sometimes we don't need the full match. Pack that all into 2 minutes. I'm good.
yeah. That's more than you see in most matches anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
So breakout start.
Which I'm gonna go and donate over Ed Scott because I also did pin of the year. So Spencer Lee gets the pin of the year category.
That's definitely pin of the year right now. Although honestly, okay, the Ramos
You must be
one,
discounting all of Wyatt Hendrickson's matches.
No, he gets the Wade Chalice definitely not been Askren Pinner of the Year award.
Ooh. So one thing comparing those like the pins, Spencer's was awesome because of the circumstances before it, but just the sheer like the freakishness of the cartwheel to the pin against Whitcraft actually like was a little more impressive in that way. Although it's not as impressive an opponent, so a little different there.
Should we just talk pin of the year?
You know, let's go pin of the year. We love
put a couple
pins.
in here.
This is
Oh,
3
I know.
pinners here.
I got one.
Okay.
So,
Let me get this on the list.
is it on the list?
Where definitely it's not
Parker
on the
over
list.
pinning Trent?
That's a good one. I might pick that one. I was thinking when Hadley decked Karchla.
Huh?
Oh my God, did I say Hadley?
Tanner Cook.
Tanner Cook. That's what
Okay.
I was looking at the name Hadley and I said Hadley. Idiot. Tanner Cook.
I was like, man, I was trying to think, does he
missed
mean
that.
who did Hidley pin? It's like, no, who pinned Hartzell? It was Tanner Cook. That was actually,
That's a good one.
that was really savage. Everyone kept watching that and like trying to figure out whose hand is this? Who did what here? Like, how did he flip him over? That one was definitely crazy.
Here's the list I came up with off the top of my head. Spencer Lee pinning Matt Ramos. Spencer Lee pinning Drake Ayala. Brock Mahler pinning Panera Johnson. Parker Keckeisen pinning Trent Hidley. Seabrick pinning Artelona.
Oh my gosh, the Artelona
I
one.
think you take out number 2, Spencer Lee pinning Drake, and you put Tanner Cook versus
I don't.
Karchla in there.
I'm kind of with you, but then I'm kind of like, dude, it like jump started. This one match wasn't even going to happen, and then it happens, and he pins him, and then Spencer goes lunatic mode for the next like 7 matches, just decks everyone in the first period.
Then that set off the longest pinning
matches.
streak of his career.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not going to be Mahler pinning Panero Johnson. 0 offense
not?
and got the fall.
That was electric.
But
We
Pin
said
of the
they
year.
should have listened, guys. They should have just listened
not
to
match,
us.
pin.
They should have just started it 1-1 in double over or in overtime, and then it would have been a first period pin. We would have been right.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, we could have saved a lot of time too.
This is pin of the year, Christian, not match.
Yeah. Don't match of the year. It's definitely not match of the year.
And that pin was electric. That place was so loud.
Honestly, another one that's not on here that I was just like, that just sort of shocked me and how savage it was when Dayton just double leg power half pinned Dylan Ragusin. That was just
Oh yeah, that was pretty wild, huh?
pretty wild.
That was wild.
You don't see that happen much at the D1 level period, let alone happening to someone like Dylan. It was just pure brutality and savagery from Dayton. So that one stuck out to me.
Then he got to do the home run celebration again.
Again. Great baseball player. Oh, man. Keckeisen pinning Hidley, though. It's like the kind of the most impressive one in a way because such a good competitor. It's not like you just kind of throw Spencer's out in some ways just because he's so methodical. It was unexpected.
Yeah.
Spencer has three nominees, in my opinion, between Ramos,
What was the third
Ayala,
one?
and Whitcraft. That was crazy.
Oh yeah. It would have been better if we would have like as soon as you cartwheel pinned him immediately, as opposed to having to like You know, it was probably a
Readjust.
30-second fight.
He didn't land in like the best like pinning scenario. He had him on his back, but he kind of ended up like head to head.
No, that would have been a great place, but if he would have ended up more T-like, right? Like when he cartwheeled, ending up over here as opposed, and then he circled over at the head, that probably would have been better.
Who does that?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go Keckeisen on this occasion.
Yeah, you know I'm biased. I'm going Keckeisen. Let's go.
Who are you going? JD can't decide.
I think I'm going Spencer Penn and Matt Ramos.
That's pretty savage.
Maybe that does deserve match, though, because if you just look at the pin, that's not that crazy. But it was the entire match that led up to that being so crazy.
Yeah, it's like there's two schools of thought for pin of the year. It's like the context surrounding it or just the move itself.
Yes.
And there's no right or wrong answer. It's much like the Hodge Trophy criteria.
We can just completely make it up.
You can make it up. I'm going to give out 3. Wade Chalice not been Askren pinner of the year.
Show.
Yeah. But Ben, you cannot say that. You split your votes.
No.
Yes, you did.
I did. That's it. But listen, if they would have said, Ben, you can, if I would have known what was going to happen, I wouldn't have split my damn votes. And
that's not a reason to do it.
Also, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter that Ben split his votes.
Honestly, it might have. If he had gone 2, they might have been like, okay, we got to go Spencer.
Wynn said it wasn't a tie.
Yeah, but I think
it was first place was, and that was what was so annoying to me. Not to bring up your rehashing.
First place was a tie because of Ben. Literally,
that is true.
Because of Ben.
True.
First place was a tie.
Okay, but there's multiple years where I have not filled out number 2, 3, or 4 because you put 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll just like send it with number 1 because I think it's obvious, and they will send back and say, no, you have to fill out 2, 3, and 4. They force you to do it. And then they just say, no, actually, those don't count. Like, wait, what? Why have you made me do it all these times? And now you're just going to tell me it doesn't count. You're full of crap.
Also, it definitely wasn't a tie for first.
The first place votes were tied. I'm pretty sure they said. And then it was
something.
Yeah, it was like the second, third, fourth that was.
And Win Magazine wanted a certain outcome, so they refused to acknowledge the other votes. It's preposterous.
It was basically a tie, so we.
Yeah, they did say
no,
that.
It wasn't. But here's the thing, guys. It wasn't a tie.
Virtual tie.
It wasn't a tie.
Yeah,
there's only one Hodge. There's only one Hodge Trophy.
There can basically a tie is not a tie.
Virtually
a tie is.
I know.
Not a tie.
No, they
were being cowards.
Well, Ben, it's your fault. So, I made my vote. I'm gonna have to go back and win a Hodge Trophy just to negate Ben's votes now. So I
need to win one more so that I can go 2-1.
Yeah. Prince, the Princess Bride Pit of Despair. Don't even think about trying to escape award. All right. He says
this is like who's a good writer.
Dude, I thought we were picking pinners. We didn't pick a pinner yet.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We skipped pinner.
I moved on. I'm over pins. Okay. Well, all right. So let's do the rider. Let's do the escape one first and circle back to pinners because I did such a good dramatic reading of JD's award name. He only has 2 people though, Carter Starachi and David Carr.
It's just who's really good on top. Not your pinner, but
the pure rider.
I can't pick Starachi. He don't turn anybody.
That's the point of this
where
award.
is this award? I'm trying to scroll through and find it. I can't find it on the doc.
Command F that bad boy.
Oh, right there. Oh, that's why you actually have that long name in there. Wow. Don't even try to think about escaping. So we can't have Spencer in here because Spencer's clearly a better top person than both these guys.
Yeah.
It's to somebody who writes.
It's a pure rider award.
Yes.
Just most it's actually the award should be most riding time with least amount of near fall. I wish we could calculate that.
Then it's Starachi. It's Carter Starachi for sure. There's no doubt.
Okay, beast mode.
Gotta be him.
Carr, I would not have described that way until he did what he did to Keegan.
Well, it's funny because he doesn't do it all the time, but like Jesse Del Vecchi wrote out in the NCAA finals, for example. Like there's certain times when he chooses to do it and chooses not to do it. And the other thing that I would not call it the pit of despair, because this to me that means your face is being ground into the mat the whole time. But you know, like in that match, Keegan got to his feet a whole bunch and just wasn't able to finish it off. So That's what Staraki does to people. He ankle rides them, just grinds their face in the mat.
I think that adds to the despair to be so close to an escape and yet it's
No
unattainable.
hope.
That's true despair.
It's like the mouse study. You read the mouse thing where they put them in water?
I've read a
No?
lot of mouse studies. You have to. And
There's
they all
the
involve
mouse
water.
thing where you can Google this after the show, where they put them in water, try to drown them, and after like 15 minutes of trying to swim, I believe this is, the mouse will give up. But if you rescue them once, like if they know that there's a possibility of them getting out, they'll swim for like hours.
Wow.
Yeah, the power of hope.
Power of hope. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
so I'm
Larry
going
Steele
Staraki.
says, sounds like animal torture.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's someone else that should be.
I mean, they do that
I
a
don't know, I
lot to
feel-
mice. They inject them with cancer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do not have a high value on mice life.
FRL
Maybe
is
you can
not
start
pro rodent abuse, Larry. He's just citing a study. Ben didn't do it. And if you did,
Didn't
Ben,
do the
don't admit
study.
it on the show.
Didn't
It's
do
in the
study.
name of science.
My gosh,
In the
I
name
got to
of
do
science.
this next one. These category
What?
names, I didn't look at these. He said, the next award is called Space Mountain Roller Coaster.
Oh my god,
Just like up and down.
that's
Man.
Tanner Cook, guys. Why is Tanner Cook not in this category?
He's a roller coaster. He only put Princeton
Yes.
people. Pat Glory has had us on a roller coaster. Who else?
I'll put Tanner Cook. Tanner Cook's in there for
Tanner
sure.
Cook's in there. He's just a.
No, there's got to be more than that.
Who's been up and down this year?
Soldano has been a ride.
Saldano, put him in there for
Oh,
sure.
he's Space Mountain.
Yeah.
For sure.
he is. He might win the Space Mountain category.
Swiderski, but not really. Rick says
Nah,
Swiderski.
not really.
He's just been
Okay.
kind of.
Well,
His-
that was quite
you
the
know-
roller coaster because we were talking title.
But
Like,
that's
this
our
guy can
fault.
win.
We gassed him up that point. He didn't do anything on the mat that was like, oh, he's gonna.
He beat Real Woods in a takedown contest.
Oh, I got one. Vito. Vito's on there.
Vito's all-time Space Mountain.
Yes.
This
You know who's
year-
all-time Space Mountain? Actually, the most scary Space Mountain ride of all time. Matt
This year hasn't been
Ramos.
as
Matt Ramos.
Space
He
Mountain.
went
He
straight
just
up
lost to
and then
Latona.
straight down.
Yeah, Latona's
He might have
Space
bumped
Mountain.
the track.
Latona's Space Mountain.
Oh, nah, but he's been kind of good. Like he was maybe a few bumps in the beginning, and now he's flattened out.
The
Oh,
bumps
I
were
know,
bumpy.
I know this. Patrick McKee, all-time Space Mountain team.
All-time Space Mountain. Carter Young, good Space Mountain from Taylor.
Noah
Matthews.
Certain's kind of Space Mountain sometimes.
Jacob
I
Warner.
feel like-
This is a pretty awesome category.
I'm just thinking, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, like, if you were a Space Mountain in the past, like, we expect Space Mountain coming in, so it's not as much of a Space Mountain if you expect
That's
a Space
true
Mountain.
too. Once you've ridden Space Mountain, you kind of know what's coming.
Like, that's why I put Glory and Monday in here at the top, because it was like the weight flops. Nobody else is doing that.
No one's doing that.
Nobody else is teasing this at least, at a national championship level,
Yeah.
where both these guys are going to be in the hunt for the title.
So if you're just kind of always crazy, like Pat McKee, it's more.
or if it was your first year, and we didn't expect it quite so
I don't
much,
know.
like a
I'll flip on
Soldano.
Tanner Cook match and say, like, I know this is gonna be wild. Let's put this on. Speaking of that, is he all right, or is he hurt from that bum from Northern Colorado? Because I have not seen Tanner Cook in the last couple matches.
I think.
Yeah, no, he wrestled Nine House not that long ago.
He did. Okay,
Yeah.
let me look to make sure. Because if that guy from Northern Colorado hurt my guy Tanner Cook, and he's not gonna allow us the joy of
I
watching him
mean,
in NCAA.
he might. He's lost. He's only wrestled twice since then, and he lost in both, so he might be hurt. I don't know his
Oh yeah,
his
that's not
percentage
good.
status,
Well, White
but-
Sheets and Nine House are both pretty. They're pretty tough. So yeah. Okay. Who else? Anyone else for Space Mountain? This is my favorite category right now.
It's great. These have been fun surprises. Space Mountain roller coaster.
We should you know what we should kind of do sometimes too is we should also make like a toughest to ride. That would be fun also. But take like the very best guys out. So take like your top like 6
Yeah.
out. So they're out of there, and then we kind of have like more even footings.
toughest ride is the hardest one to think of. Like, so many guys escape.
Someone
Yeah.
sent me. I'll send you the study. Drowning Rat Psychology Experience, Resilience, and the Power of Hope. I will send this to you, Christian Pyles.
I believe it. I believe it.
You also just summarized it. I don't think I need to read it.
Yeah.
JD, educate yourself a little
Has
bit, my
this
man.
been peer reviewed? Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's go to. Oh, we got so many categories. This is so fun. Did we skip
Wait,
some?
who won that category? Who won? We didn't even pick the winner, Christian. You're just talking.
To me, it's Pat Glory.
Yeah.
That has been the
Oh.
roller coaster of roller coasters.
Why? He hasn't been down because his weight issues or what?
Yes, Ben. He literally was going to go 133 pounds,
He was
Okay.
he was entered at 133 at Midlands.
and then
Yeah.
for weeks it's just been. And he wrestled at 133 after that, and then it was what did he weigh in at, and all this. And it's so interesting because he's so good, because he's NCAA finalist champion level.
Got it. Okay. I'm gonna go Brian Soldano.
Soldano, it's cooled off a little bit, but it has been a fun ride.
People figured him out a little bit, but that first
Ooh, baby, that was
2
fun.
months,
Yeah.
pretty wild.
It's the way he pins people too, by just throwing himself to his own back.
All right. What next one should we? All right, let's do pinner of the year. Who has the highest pin percentage?
I actually I'm trying to Google most pins in college right now,
Wyatt.
and
It's Wyatt. Tyler Stoltzfus, I
it's
think,
so
is
hard
second.
to find though.
Shout out WrestleStat. They have a list with it.
Oh, really? Okay, that's what I'm good. Who else is up there besides these two? There's got to be more.
Wyatt Henderson leads with 14. Tyler Stoltzfus is second with 13. Mason Paris, third, tied with Maximilian Leet with 11. Will Feldkamp 10. Cassiope 10. Tyler Massow 10. John Milner 9. Sasso 9. Tanner Cook 9.
Hey, where do I find this? Where do I
8.
find this here?
Sorry. If you go to rankings on WrestleStat
Okay.
and then stats,
Perfect. You got it. Most falls. I was gonna pick Tyler Stoltzfus.
Yeah. Gotta go with Stoltzfus.
No, it's Wyatt Henderson, guys, the most electric man in college wrestling. We all know.
Salute this man.
that. Yes. Give him some hardware.
All right. Well, I'll give him that one.
or you could say Mason undefeated with 11
Pretty
against
nice.
Big Ten competition.
Yeah, possibly. Okay.
Can we just actually get Mason Paris and Wyatt Hendrickson to battle in a best 2 or 3 falls match?
That would be great. A pin only.
Pin only.
Pin only.
competition.
That's 2 or 3. I've been trying to get Christian to start a pin only league. I said I will unretire and come back if Christian starts a pin only league. He's too much of a
Alright.
coward
I
to
mean,
do
we
it.
kind of
So.
tried that in grappling, and it can lead to some
I
not
think-
great product.
Don't you guys do it in grappling?
Yeah, it's not ideal. Having
Not
4 hour
ideal?
matches,
You don't like it?
4 or 5 hour matches with no known end in sight.
5 hours? I ain't gonna take me 5 hours to pin someone. If you work hard for 5 hours, you're gonna fall over dead. These guys must not be working very hard.
I'll you know what? I'm gonna let you just watch it. I'm gonna send you Kyle Chambers versus Isaac
I will
Michelle.
not watch. I will
You have to
not
watch it all
that.
on
You have
one
to
time
watch
speed.
it all.
On one time speed, no
Yeah.
fast forwarding.
Yeah, Mister, it's such a great idea.
I'll watch it on 12 times speed.
No, you know what? He had this dude in. He was on his back forever, and the dude just did this, and like he could not.
Couldn't break him, huh?
It was these guys are legit.
Dang, crazy.
Okay, next up, OW. We're just giving out OWs. Most outstanding: David Carr, Spencer Lee, RBY, Andrew Alirez. So oftentimes OW is like, wow, you had like an outstanding performance relative to expectations. Sometimes you just stunt on like a really good field. For me, Carr, I think, is the current OW because Kozak was reading me the stat. He's beaten like
His win.
6 of the top 10 guys, and he just beat the reigning champ. That is just, I think that's like the OW hat tip.
Yeah. So you're saying this is different than the
Hodge.
Hodge award because Hodge is more dominance focused,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if Spencer would have had like 100% early termination, as in no majors, no regular decisions, I think you have to give it to him. But without that, even though he has had a higher dominance score, I think it might be Carr.
Yeah.
It was the win over Keegan. Prior to that, could have maybe said Alirez. He's been very dominant this year.
I feel like he's breakout. And not that like we didn't know who he was, but he went from is he ready to place to
Yes.
he looks like the best guy in the country right now. Maybe it's real, maybe it's him, but him separating from this field, the whole point of this field was going to be like it's crazy, anyone can win it, and that's still we'll find out for sure in a couple weeks. But right now, he and Real have so far separated, and he's just been so dynamic in it. I'm surprised he wasn't on the pin list actually. He's iced a lot of people this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carr for me, OW, just based on he's had so much quality competition. You beat a national champion. That's really, really good. Okay. We're doing conference wrestlers of the year. I feel like I skipped some too.
You skipped a bunch.
I skipped a bunch somehow. Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Well, you skipped Breakout Star.
I figured you're picking your favorite one here.
I don't know what happened. There's a lot going on this morning, so I apologize if I'm a little scattered. Rookie of the year.
Biggest surprise, biggest upset, all these things.
These are great. Let's do Rookie of the Year. He's got
This is just true freshman.
true freshman, no red
True
shirting.
freshman.
That's cheating.
That's right.
Levi Haynes, Jesse Mendez, Caleb Henson. Is there anyone else that could be on this list? I don't think so.
I don't think so. There's some other good true freshmen, but I think these would be the three finalists.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go.
We already kind of
I'm
said
gonna
this one a week or so ago, and I'm sticking.
Well, I'm
with
actually
it.
going to go Jesse Mendez, even though I think there's a relatively high possibility that Levi Haynes places above him in NCAAs, and I would probably pick that. But when you look at who each of them has beat, I mean, Levi Haynes' best win right now is probably Kobe Seabrook, because Kobe Seabrook beat Will Luan.
Henson got the best win. of the bunch.
Henson has far superior wins.
Who?
Caleb
Henson. He wrestled at Virginia
yeah.
Tech.
Well, Mendez has got 4 All-Americans.
But Henson beat Sasso.
Henson beat Sasso. He beat Milner.
He got 2.
Yeah, but a Sasso win.
Sasso is a better win. But who did he lose to? He lost to Yanni,
lost to Zap,
Brock Muller, and Zap. Like, I think, I don't know, I'll take Mendez's.
Okay, well, the only way to find out is have them wrestle each other, and whoever wins is the Rookie of the Year. And no, that does not apply for Haynes.
Caleb is 19-3, and Jesse Mendez is what? He has 2 losses.
And also, I don't know.
Jesse is
19-3 versus
13-3. Oh, 13-3.
6 more matches.
Might be why. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like higher quality win because he has number 5 Bird. He has number 11 Cannon, number 9 Ragusin, and number 25 Foley. 4 previous All-Americans.
I mean, okay, if we're counting Foley, then I can get some wins that are comparable to that. He majored Jaden Abbas 18-11.
Jaden Abbas has not been good this year, unfortunately.
I bet he's been he's had a better year than Rayvon Foley. Jaden Abbas is 21-4. What are you talking about?
Best win is. I love when we go down these rabbit holes like this.
He beat Dom Demas, Victor Voinovich.
He did beat Doug Zapp.
Doug Zapp.
Zapp's his best win.
Ethan
Demas has
Miller,
not been good this year.
Ethan Miller.
Wait, did I give a shout out to Cal Poly? I heard Tristan Moran led Cal Poly to a Pac-12 victory this year in the dual meet title. What do you think?
There you go.
Many people are saying that.
Tristan and Evan Wick, great job, guys. Undefeated.
That's awesome. But yeah, Jaden Abbas has not been bad this year. He did lose to Dylan Martinez.
I pick Jesse Mendez. You're welcome to pick Caleb Henson.
And I'll go Levi Haynes.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
One of each.
We split our votes again, but I get 2. So
what?
Yeah, I get drugs. 2. I get 2 votes, but I'm splitting.
There's only one man to separate this, and that's Sion.
Man, he would have to pick Haynes. He would just pick Haynes reflexively out of allegiance.
You know who'd be another interesting pick in here, and I didn't know if he's going to wrestle, is Dayton Pitzer. He has some huge wins.
You're right. He would be interesting.
the Colton Schultz win was really
He has
good.
cooled off.
Yeah, and I thought about putting him in here, but I feel like, these guys were just a
Jaden
notch above.
Pitzer. Yeah, he lost to Treffin and Schuyler. That hurts because he had beaten Hilger, Wolfgram, and Colton Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of has no easy wins. If you look at his wrestle stat on their rankings, he only has one person below the 34th ranked out of all his matches, and that was Whitman, and Whitman's 82.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wild.
Pitt had a tough schedule this year. Plus, he didn't wrestle in any opens to kind of preserve those 5 uses for duels in the tournament. He did wrestle in those Midlands, which obviously is tough.
Kind of annoying in the class of 2022 is there was a bunch of guys who didn't actually use almost any matches. Like Feldman didn't really use any. We only saw Bouzakis.
Feldman was hurt all year. That's why.
Okay. We saw Bouzakis once. We didn't really see Spratley barely at all. We didn't really see Fishback barely at all.
I feel like
Spratley did?
He did Last Chance.
The great Last Chance Open. I don't feel like we saw him at all. I'll look.
No, only 10 matches. I thought it was more.
He did Skullful, Last Chance, and Bison. Okay. Next up, Breakout Star. JD only submitted 1 nominee, and it was an Iowa State wrestler in a shocking development, Panero Johnson.
I'm open to
I think
others.
Brock Hardy should
Andrew Alirez.
Andrew Alirez, Brock Hardy should definitely be on here.
Andrew Alirez won senior nationals. Everybody knew. Look, there's a biggest surprise category.
And what happened after he won?
I put Andrew Alirez going undefeated and be number 1 in the biggest surprise category, not Breakout Star, because we already knew Andrew Alirez. You can't break out.
I don't know. No, I put him in Breakout for sure because I had him like maybe he broke out of the glass.
He was like a number 2 overall in his class.
He broke out.
Breakout. I got another breakout. Michael Caliendo.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
He's really, really good. I like Caliendo a lot. Brock Hardy should be on there.
I think Brock Hardy too, because I did not think Brock Hardy was this good.
Honestly, it was tough. It was tough putting him on there right after he lost to Emilio Izagiri.
He still had a great year.
He did.
He's beaten a lot of good guys too.
What about Liam Cronin? He's never been nearly this
Honestly, yeah.
You know what annoys me? Is there was someone I saw because I saw Shane's response on Twitter.
Texas.
It's probably his brother. It's like, oh my God, you guys never talk about it. It's like you just want to be a victim. Like, you dummy. We have talked about Liam Cronin so many times on this show this year.
Who said we don't talk about him?
His brother or something. He's like, you guys never talk about him, blah, blah, blah. It's like people just want to be victims. It's like, dude, we talk about Liam Cronin all the time. Get lost.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had a nickel for all the things I didn't talk about.
The other great one is every team, like someone this morning, I saw someone saying like, oh, are you going to like Penn State now that the Mirasolas are going there? It's like, of all the really highly ranked teams that I talk about, I think I feel like I speak most highly of Penn State. There's certain guys who bore me like Carter, but I think I speak most highly of the Penn State guys more than anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Would you judge that or no?
What's that?
Well, how would you judge me of how I rate other highly ranked teams? Penn State, I speak the most highly of.
I think you speak the most highly of them. I think you give some very uncharitable perspectives for other teams. Certainly not Penn State.
That might be your bias.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, so Breakout. Caliendo is a good one. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing anyone.
I'm kind of going through the rankings right now, making sure.
Laird was sort of an interesting one, but he's really cooled off, and we haven't seen much of him.
Would you consider
Skyler?
Levi Haynes or no?
He's Rookie of the Year. He's not eligible.
Okay, Rookie of the Year. That's fair.
He wrestled in who's number 1. I think he's like pound for pound, like top kid. 57, no one really broke out. 65, we already mentioned Caliendo. I mentioned Skyler.
Skylar's an interesting one because I did not think he was nearly that good.
He's like skillful.
He's in the most improved category.
He deserves the most improved category.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably it. Let's go with those.
Sure.
I'll say if Alirez can be picked, I pick him. Out of
I pick
nowhere.
Aliris also.
Yeah.
I don't think
Despite
Illyris should be eligible
JD's
because
protestations.
I already thought quite highly of Andrew Illyris and his abilities.
He's an Illyris hater. He doesn't want to see him get any hardware.
He's also
should
in the
go
most
back to-
he's
we
also
should
in the
go back
most
to the,
improved category.
He is most improved.
We should go back to the islands talk and see which island JD had Andrew Aliris on.
Yeah.
That would be a good teller.
Probably 2.
Yeah, maybe we had a big tier 1.
Maybe even tier 1, because
We got to start saving these.
I mean, they are saved. That the archives live.
No,
forever.
I've been actually. I didn't tell you. I've been.
It's not like ESPN Plus. We keep the archives.
Yeah, why? We got 100 million archives on our site. Why are they deleting duels and ESPN NCAA matches? Just deleting wrestling history. Shameful.
NBC.
It's shameful.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll go. Caliendo.
I like it.
Even though he's quite flying under the radar, I feel like for a lot of the casual fans, just probably because he wrestles for North Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
But people forget he beat Shane Griffith.
He looked good all
and that's his only loss, I think. So,
yeah.
No, he lost to Keegan pretty bad.
Or yeah, Keegan and Griffith
Took him down twice.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did take him down twice in the first, and then Keegan, I think, beat him 15-8.
Dang. Okay, next category is
most improved.
Most improved. Moshe Schwartz, Sam Schuyler, Andrew Aliris, Kobe Seabrecht. Seabrecht, honestly, if you look at his wrestle stat for his entire career,
For real.
This is pretty. It's shocking. Andrew Aliris ascending to be the number
Schwartz,
one guy.
though, is kind of wild.
We'll see. I think that's more about. I know I'm kind of talking out both sides of my mouth if I say that's just 141, but that's kind of what I'm saying. I think it's Seabrecht. Aliris is incredibly improved, but I think we always saw it in him that this is possible. I didn't.
But,
just
because it was possible, it wasn't happening.
I know, but to me the gap from going from like an All-American contender to like a title favorite, it's like that's a lot more ground to make up than going from. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, what about Liam Cronin? He might be my guy?
So he's got some weird L's this year. His brother just probably yell at us.
Let me look him up. But I believe you guys have him at number 3.
Well, he's the rightful number 3, but he lost to Ethan Bergen and Caleb Smith this year.
18-3. Okay, but he does have wins over Brandon Courtney, Malik Heinzelman, Eric Barnett, Michael D'Agostino, Patrick McKee. That's not really anyone great besides that, I guess.
Yeah, he beat Barnett.
I don't know. That's pretty.
He beat
good
Barnett in his previous year of competition when he wasn't. He took the medical year.
Yeah, he was 10-5 in the half year in 2021. That seems comparable.
He beat McKee that year. He beat Barnett that year.
All right, I've been.
He beat Foley that year.
Final answer.
Lock it in, Reed.
Lock it in.
Okay, biggest upset. Seabrecht over Luan. I kind of forgot that happened. Serber over Elam. Coleman over Brooks. Pinheiro over Gomez. Gomez over Yanni. Henson over Sasso. Neville's over Schultz. Isagara over Hardy. And UNI over Ohio State. A lot of upsets this year.
There's probably more.
I know. Yeah. I know mine for sure.
Coleman.
Marcus Coleman over Aaron Brooks. For sure. Never would have called that. I mean, I wouldn't have called a couple of these other ones. But if I think about what would I have put the most money on, it is Coleman losing to Aaron Brooks for sure.
Beating Aaron Brooks, yes. Oh, that's what
I would have bet money for him losing that match. Yeah.
Yes, and you did, and you lost significant money, as I recall.
Lost 7 Bitcoins.
Dang, that's over $50. Yeah, I'm with you. Although the Yanni one is like, I think we already agreed on this one that it was probably Yanni or Marcus over Brooks. So I'm gonna
because in my opinion, if you say going in, who is more likely to lose, Aaron Brooks or Yanni this season? you probably go Brooks. But you say Austin Gomez beats Yanni, that is least surprising than Marcus Coleman beating Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, because with Gomez, you just recognize the home run threat.
Exactly.
Always.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, and he took a big swing and he got it. Whereas Coleman, that's not really how I view him. And he hits this crazy roll through.
Yes.
And
that was wild.
It was wild.
If the ref would have slapped the mat, and that would have been Penn of the Year.
Yeah.
That would have been Penn of the Year, probably, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
That would have been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now...
Because that was also Collegiate Duels Finals, so...
Yes.
I can't remember what the team score was at the time, but it might have still been in the balance.
I don't think it was, but I could be wrong.
Biggest surprise. Some of this is a little overlap, but Kobe Seabrick, Moshe Schwartz, Iowa State's bump to beat Cornell, Nino ending the regular season #1, Nebraska finishing 3 without Ridge, Illyria's undefeated domination, Marco Vespa taking down Spencer Lee. That was shocking.
Oh my God, that would have.
When I was watching that, it was literally to the point I was like, oh, Spencer just shot a low single. That's interesting. I've never seen him shoot that, a low-level John Smith attack. And it was Marco Vespa. Mm-hmm. What the heck, Marco?
Yeah. Hey, so to JD, to your point, that duel was still in the balance. Max Dean beat Younger, and then at 285, they won by forfeit. So if he would have pinned them there, that would have put Iowa State up 15-13.
Could have been interesting.
Yeah.
So,
jeez Louise.
But there's more.
Taking down.
Max Dean dropping 2 matches in 1 weekend. Brayton Lee, just that. Peyton Robb undefeated. Cal Poly undefeated Pac-12 champions. The triple bump is not something I would have ever predicted. Triple bump?
I think it's a triple bump.
Honestly. I don't know. But Nebraska.
I think that's where I'm going.
That is just a collective. And we've talked about it so many times, the North Dakota State duel. Off discussed. Which, also, North Dakota State's pretty freaking tough. But that's just not what you would expect from there. I kind of want to see how their season concludes between Big Tens and NCAAs.
Well, that's the point. This is regular season awards.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm withholding my vote.
Withholding my regular season vote.
It's a delayed
until
vote.
The postseason is over.
The triple bump, though, because when it's happening, you're like, this doesn't... No one bumps up one person. You bumped up all 3, and it worked?
And it was against good guys.
Yeah, it's not like... Yeah, exactly. Like, Brian Smith would bump up Jaden Cox, but, like, not against, I don't know, Adam Kuhn, right? It was against, like, all right, you're going to beat this
It was
dude.
all-American level competition.
Yeah. All of them had tough matches, and they won.
In the collegiate duel semis.
And Bastida beat freaking
Fernandez,
like a big heavyweight. I'm going with that one. Comeback of the year: Austin O'Connor, Spencer Lee, Brock Mahler, Michael Beard. Man, we might. Not Brock Mahler and Michael Beard. I don't think. I mean, Michael Beard was.
He's Austin O'Connor for me.
Well, so why?
Because he didn't have a good year last year. It was like not that good, and then you kind of almost wrote him off, and now he's came back and looked great.
Well, I didn't write him off.
Yeah, same with Spencer, but I kind of thought that was going to happen with Spencer. I think everyone thought that was going to happen.
Yeah. Everybody knew Austin O'Connor was at, I don't even know, a fraction of health at NCAA's last year, but still. So I wasn't writing him off. I knew title contender, but he's been pretty dominant.
Yeah, it's been really
this
good.
year, and to come back from an injury, like that and be this dominant.
Spencer had double ACL surgery. Just for the record, like 2 months before Austin,
and
pretty uncanny.
Has been as dominant as Austin was. He was more dominant.
Yes, I would go with him, but definitely O'Connor. Yeah, I'm excited to see how his season finishes up. He's got a tough ACCs, and then, I'm wondering, could he get the one?
Peyton Robb has a lot of really good wins, and he's undefeated as well.
Robb has to lose. probably because O'Connor's missed some time. He missed he
How
didn't
many
wrestle
losses
against
does Franek have? One?
Yes, because
Rob?
Franek is ranked number 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Austin O'Connor, 3.
Yeah, his only loss is his
It's
first
to-
match of
it's
the
to
year.
Peyton.
Dang.
Yep. Okay.
And whether right or wrong, because Austin was at 10%, 15% health or whatever, he did take those losses last year, which is why he's not, 1 or 2
Mm-hmm.
this year. So for right or wrong, those probably will come back to hurt him a little bit. But
All right. I just saw the last category. Ben, did you see the last
I
one?
have not.
I'd like you to read it.
I did not put this in.
Oh, we're skipping all the conference ones?
Yeah, skip the last conference one, and then someone put another one in there. Read it.
The Andy Smith Award for the Andy Smith Wrestler of the Year, and the winner is Andy Smith.
I did not write that either. I guess Tyler put that. Producer Tyler put Andy Smith of the Year and gave it to Andy Smith, which I humbly have to agree with. I think it's a good take.
Gosh.
Okay.
How did you ever start loving Andy Smith? I mean, because he's just like, I'm sure he's this awesome guy, but he's just like a very average Virginia Tech wrestler. I don't know what the gimmick is.
And most people would probably see it like that. And I just, to the layperson and the uninitiated, that's what you see. Now, I don't even remember how it started. I think
I can pop in here if you want.
They used him in a few duels, and I was like, oh, I actually really like this guy. I think he's actually gonna be pretty good. And Coach Freyer put him on my radar like way before he was even wrestling matches for them. They're like, he's gonna be pretty. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be good. So I always watch him. I just like his game. I think he's good.
Okay.
Under the radar. And I don't know if you know this, but I have an affinity for the state of Virginia. And their
whatever happened to Noah Adams? Remember that dude was really good during Corona year?
Yeah, he beat he's the only guy that beat AJ Ferrari, and then he didn't want to come back.
He just doesn't like wrestling. He's done. Weird.
That was it. Literally, it's just like I don't want to do this anymore.
He is.
That's wild.
We yell at everybody for sticking around. He said, "Okay, I'm out."
He said, "We don't yell."
I feel like he was way early. Like he should still have eligibility, and he was done like 3 years ago.
I think he would have had at least 2 left.
No, I think just 1.
Yeah, maybe
no
so.
No way. He's not that old. Or he's not that. Yeah, he's not that old.
No, Adams didn't have a wrestle stat. How is this possible?
No, he does. He had a redshirt year and then 3 years, but one of those doesn't count. So he would have 2. He would have had 2 years left. So he would have had 2022 and 2023.
Yeah. He would have had 2.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, he might get most improved. He went from 19-15 as a freshman to 32-0. What?
Are we 3 years late giving him the most improved?
Yes. Do you guys realize how ridiculous that is?
55% to 100.
Yes.
To counter that, Troy Fisher went from 1-10 to 17-10 the next year.
That's pretty good, but
probably not 32-0. Good.
And he didn't really have he kind of had a tough schedule because the Big 12 was kind of tough there. We got Sam Schuyler on here. We got Ethan Laird in here.
Buchanan was in there.
Oh my goodness. Dakota Gear, Jake Woodley. Stephen Buchanan?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a real who's who. Jake Woodley.
Yeah.
All right.
What could have been?
The Noah Adams of the year goes to Noah Adams.
Like I said, I believe he's a police officer.
He's a cop. That's what Montori Bridges did. Are you getting them
Correct.
mixed up? We just got a bunch of cops out there.
I don't think so. Bracky can maybe give us a scoop. And I think that's what he wanted to be, and that was obviously 2 years ago.
Remember when Bracky acted like he was going to come on the show a bunch and then didn't?
He came on once in 3 years.
Honestly, coward move. He acts like he's got this busy job.
Seriously.
Ridiculous. Okay.
It would actually be kind of part of his job description when he came on to our show because he's the recruiting director and you want to get your face out there and get people to know you. Come on, Brackett, do your job.
Ross Patton in the Facebook chat. Good one for comeback of the year. Mikey Carr.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Virtual GIF Undertaker coming out of the tomb.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just like,
out of the
I think
coffin.
that should be the name of the award. Like
the Undertaker.
it's a step further. It's a step further than like a normal injury. It's like you thought this person was done. They were in the graveyard and they came out like Bergie last year, for example.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Bergie won.
Yes.
Courtney could have won this one, but I don't even know if he's going to be the starter at ACC's. He hasn't been wrestling recently.
Oh,
Wait,
because
who?
he was a teacher.
Yes.
Ryan Courtney.
Oh, yeah. He's teaching science.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We need that award next year. Someone who just comes out of the grave.
We need to have a Teacher of the Year award, like most elementary schools.
So funny.
All right. Do we want to go conference by conference?
Nah, I feel like that's excessive.
It's excessive, but we appreciate the effort. This was a fun little bit. Do you want to do some questions?
Let's do it.
All right. Injury updates for guys. Who is out for the year? Who will be back at conferences? Vince Cornella, Jonathan Lowe, Bernie Truax, Gomez. Truax is back. Lowe is out for the year. Gomez will be back.
Cornella will be back.
Cornella will be back. Is there anyone else injured that was injured where it's like, will he be back?
Tanner Cook. Will he be back and healthy? 100%.
I think he'll be back. I mean, he wrestled a week or two ago, but I don't know the status of his health. DiAgostino's obviously a little not right, but assume we'll see him.
Okay. Let's look here.
Let's see. I'll find one.
What is the best D1 team the casual fan doesn't know about? Saw someone put stats on American and was pretty impressed with the season they put together.
I'm going to say we've been talking about him a lot this show, man. That's why. North Dakota State.
That's what I...
You beat number 3. You got a guy like Caliendo who, like I said, I think is flying a bit under the radar.
A couple other scrappers.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in there?
They've been pretty good. Didn't they just beat they beat South Dakota State in a close one, who would be another one because they did really well at Vegas.
I thought South Dakota State won.
Did they win? I thought North
think
Dakota
they
State won
won.
by like 2.
They got the border bell. That's their trophy. So
yeah.
they kettlebell.
They win.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, both Dakotas, honestly, been really solid. I'm going to look at our team rankings, just scan.
That's Iowa State is someone who's been a lot better this year, and they've kind of.
I feel like they've been at the center of conversation around from November on. We've been talking about Iowa State.
Right, that first weekend.
If you're really in tune, if you're a wrestling fan, you know about Pitt and you know about Lehigh. But if you're just like
Man, I don't think so. I don't think casuals know about the year Pitt's had, honestly.
Yeah.
I think we have to lower the bar for what a casual fan is.
And I was thinking, I feel like if you're a casual wrestling fan, you at least know of Lehigh. But if you're just a sports fan and you tell somebody that Lehigh is in the top 15, they're probably like, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That only cares about like football and basketball. Like, that's a team where it's like, how are they even competing with the likes of Penn State, Iowa, Nebraska, your Power Fives? I guess the same could maybe be said for Cornell, but they at least have some history.
Yeah, they're such an established thing, and really Lehigh is as well. So I'll say Pitt. They beat the Hokies.
Pitt.
All right. Did anyone? I haven't got to read the article yet. It was on my things to do list, and then the day got away from me this morning already. But how we will seed 165 at Big Tens. We got an article. So
long story short, it's a mess.
Get your broom. So 165. Kozak's prediction is as follows: Cam Amin, Dean Hamady, Patrick Kennedy, Alex Facundo, Carson Harshla, Caleb Fish, Max Mayfield, et cetera, and a host of others.
Wow, it feels Facundo above Car because Facundo beat Car. So yeah, that sounds about right, huh?
The
thing is, Cam Amin lost to Bryce Hepner.
But that's not his only loss, right? He lost to did he lose to Facundo? Yes.
Yes.
So that's probably more pertinent than the Hebner loss. They're
Yeah,
probably
Hebner's probably disregarded because he's not in the field, right?
Yes. That would be my assumption. So, but Cam beat Dean. It's really just like what head-to-head do you value the most?
It's what we call a ranker's delight.
It's not.
Or
Or is there
Cedars
another
delight.
way? I mean, is there another way that they could separate those people or no? It's like out of conference losses, something like that. No,
I don't know exactly how
highest finish last year
the
at
Big
NCAAs.
Ten does the rankings. They might just only do the Big Ten, the starters for starters matchups. That might be the only data they take in, but it might not be. I
kind of think that's the easiest way to do it, honestly.
Because obviously with Hamidi, you have both of his other losses are out of conference. With Amin, his only other loss is in conference, but not in conference play, I guess you would say. Most wins against other people. Let's see. So Amin's got Karchla and Hamidi with the loss to Facundo. But Hamidi beat Kennedy and he beat who else he beat? None of these guys, huh? So he only has one win against the other top few.
Yeah.
Because he didn't wrestle Facundo and he hasn't wrestled Karchla.
Of note, Kozak is horribly, horribly compromised and biased, being a Michigan man himself. A man from Michigan, not to be confused with a Michigan man.
He did live in Ohio.
He did live in Ohio.
So,
but did that just fuel his disdain?
This is true. I'm not sure.
You don't know what happened.
You don't know.
All right. So, yeah, 165 is going to be kind of a mess. Okay, I like this question. Out of Keegan, Carr, and Starachi, who's the biggest threat if they all go 74 kilograms at trials?
Is it, we're talking about 2023?
Or 4, I guess.
4. Well,
we
4,
won't
I'm going
be
to pick
seeing
Keegan.
him.
I have justification to pick Keegan because he can get better by then. But in 2023, I think right now, I feel like it's Staraki. He is taking third in, what was it? It was 2 years ago he took third, right?
Didn't
At the
Carr
trials?
was right there with Nolf in like the finals to take on?
I don't think so.
Wasn't he?
The Olympic trials? It wasn't as close. If you're talking
No,
about...
I'm not saying close. I'm saying like... I'm not saying he was right there to beat Nolf. I'm saying he wrestled Nolf. I can't remember if it was like semis or finals winner. I can't remember for sure. But... And David was third on the ladder this year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he made the national team, right?
Yeah, I think so.
As did Starachi.
That's what I'm saying. They were both third.
Yeah.
Mm.
I still have a hard time with things Starachi is going to make 74 kilograms.
Me
and be
too.
Fine. It feels, that feels like not right. I don't feel like he's going to be too big.
So I'm locking in David Carr. Final answer.
It feels like it could be he teched, first of all, Nolf, yes, he teched David Carr 10-0.
Damn.
So while the match happened.
He's kind of good, huh?
He's kind of very good. So,
It is,
that was at Olympic
I struggle. You know what I
trials,
struggle so much with? I don't know if you guys do too, but like the fact that Jason Nolf is so much better, like that much better than David Carr, but we still, I don't think any of us are giving him much of a chance to beat Dacre Burrows. It's freaking wild.
No. Yeah.
It's levels.
Levels for sure. And matchups too. They matter.
Yes.
Also, Carr 2021, he's a 157 national champion a month before.
But this, I'm looking at 2022.
Okay. How'd that go? Was that also a tech?
Nolf was up 8-0 and then pinned him.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Oh yeah. Tyler, video guy, was looking at that match earlier. He's like, this is insane. He's like, I can't get over it. Because he was looking for clips to post of Carr. He's like, oh, maybe he did something to Nolf. And he's like, look how casually like Nolf did this.
Yeah. So then remember, Strachey lost to Marsteller and then came back on the backside and took third.
He got in the Daddy Bowl.
My thing with Starachi is like, I'm worried it'll be like a James Green situation. Great wrestler, squeezed out of the wrong weight. Can't do the weight right.
I kind of feel that way too.
It's not even nothing to do with him. It's just like that's how big his body is, and it remains to be seen if he can do it or not. We'll find out. So I would say probably Carr would be my answer right now, based on that. Based on Carr just beat Keegan, Storace not going to be able to make the weight and feel awesome. Day before weigh-in, I'd be like, all right, giddy up. What would happen, Ben Askren, if you had to wrestle Tyrone Lewis 2-hour weigh-in, or Donnie Pritzloff for Olympic? Like how that ugly, right?
I don't know. Yeah, probably not good. Probably not good at all.
Like, would you have
never
a
had to do
guess?
that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what would happen. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been good.
Why don't we do this? Since you're talking comeback, why don't you cut to 74 kilograms? We'll talk to Pritzloff. He'll do it. 2-hour weigh-in.
No, I want a pin only match. I'm waiting for Flo to start pin only league.
Okay. We're on
It will never happen.
Yeah. Was Brock Hardy sick? I don't know. I hope not. I hope he wasn't sick.
He's a sick wrestler.
Oh my gosh. I laugh at this, but maybe we shouldn't laugh. Ron Kroptovich. Will we see Michael Beard back at Penn State next year after Dean's graduation?
Oh my God, no.
No.
Please no. That would be out of the grave.
That's like, don't do that to poor Lehigh. But
yeah, it's a sick joke.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance we see them do a bump there. Aaron Brooks 97, Srirachi to 84, Facundo to 74, Levi Haynes to 57 or 65.
Yeah.
There's a chance of that.
I could see Brooks going to 97. I can't see Srirachi going 184 on an Olympic year when he's trying to make the team at 163.5. That feels far-fetched. I think you're more likely to bump up someone. Would you wrestle a bar right away at 74? Or couldn't Ryder make 74 for
Ryder's
or 80,
Ryder's
84? 84.
No, but Ryder's junior class.
Oh, a bar. So bar.
It would be bar, yeah.
Maybe wrestle him right away.
Yeah.
These are just thoughts, not plans.
You got plans, Christian? Yes. Greatest of all time.
After watching several high school tournaments, are you more in favor of a 3-class system, or should all states be 1 or 2 classes? Well,
you know what I would like? I have a strong take on this. Can I give my strong opinion?
I love when you ask for permission to be on the show. Yes.
One of my dads that helps out, he was a Iowa State wrestler, and he was complaining about Iowa. Iowa went to 24 participants in their state tournament, but I guess there's only 65 teams per division, right? Which means roughly 40% is qualifying for the state tournament. Too much. It's just too much. I think qualifiers should be on a percentage basis, and everyone should be stuck at 16-person brackets. So what you want that percentage to be, is it 20% qualify, maybe 25 at most? Like Wisconsin's 128 teams in Division I. Of that, 16 athletes qualify. So you're at like roughly a 1-in-8 ratio, or 12.5%. Maybe that might be a little too low. I don't know. Maybe a little up, but 24 out of 64 seems like way too much.
Yeah. This will never happen, but I would love to see state duels. I think 3 is a good number for classes for the state of Iowa. I'm not exactly sure about other states, the big ones, particularly like California, Texas. But for individual, drop it down to 1.
Yeah. 1. Whoa.
No,
maybe 2.
I mean,
I think it's by
an individual sport
or team basis. Like that's why if there's a crap ton of teams, they shouldn't be one. I don't think California. I know they take pride in their 1-division system. I don't think it's good for them.
Yeah, I don't either. I think, and I have a small school perspective, and it's not just the comparison. Yeah, it's an individual thing and the collective, but like there is a collective impact on the individual if you wrestle in a lot of these small schools.
It's
There are
true.
some that can overcome it and have advantages. Like, I'm just thinking very Virginia centric, but you've got a Grundy where like there's a rich tradition there. But it's a big. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of challenges with small schools. You got all the kids are year round because you don't have sports teams if these guys aren't 3-sport athletes generally.
Yeah.
But you can't really specialize at these small schools and have sports. So there's a lot of concessions that have to be made. It's harder to find quality coaches. I like that you separate it. There's a smaller pool.
Yeah.
6 is obviously insane, and like suggesting anything like that is just preposterous. But I think 3, when Virginia was 3, it was great.
It's also with those small schools, there's something to be said. Obviously, yes, finding the best champion, competition, whatever, but there's something to be said that this is still high school sports, and that this young athlete gets to be, the pride of his community. When maybe he otherwise wouldn't. Somebody who not even maybe a state champion, but who places high. That would be great for that kid, and he obviously otherwise would not get the chance if classes were combined.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think it should be definitely. I think it definitely should be multiple divisions, but there should be amount of difficulty to qualify for the state tournament, so it can be a kind of a really source of pride or joy to qualify for that, and then. Then it becomes a point of like even qualifying for. So we go regional, sectional, state. Even qualifying for sectionals is kind of hard because I think in Wisconsin it's 4 out of 16, right? So something like that.
Dang,
So
that is tough.
Or maybe it's half. No, 8. It's 8 of 16, except in the smaller divisions. Then it is 4 of 14, I think, something like that.
And for the record, Iowa only has 64 in 3A. They have 96 in 2A and 120 in 1A, or 124.
Wait. 100.
So, 120.
Wait, but 3A is the big one, right?
Yes, there are not that many big schools in Iowa. They have many more small schools in Iowa.
Still, Wisconsin. That's strange that they do it that way.
And they used to not have sectionals for 3A only. So you would have sectional districts and then the state tournament. But 3A only had districts and then state tournament. But that's getting switched now because they just went to 24. I'm not exactly brushed up on all my Iowa.
Yeah. So Wisconsin goes 16 regionals, Division I, the biggest division. So it's the opposite. The one's the biggest. 16 regionals, 8 teams. It's 128 teams. And then who's ever left, they split 2 ways between divisions 2 and 3, which is usually like between 105 and 110 teams in each of those divisions. So, relatively equal between Division 1, 2, and 3.
All right. I think we can go. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow.
Talking all Wisconsin high school state tournament.
Wisconsin high school, for sure. Wisconsin Radio Live. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back then. JD and I get tacos. Ben does not get tacos.
What?
He can't even make them at home. We told Amy, throw away the tortillas. Just kidding. I hope you find a taco on this snow day. Drive safe, snowy drivers. It's raining here, so we got to be really careful. It's 80. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.